What's up with you guys? Thanks for coming through.
Thanks,
Yeah. Where do you guys live?
I live in Sherman Oaks. I live in Inglewood.
That's great. Born and raised?
I'm born and raised in mid-city LA, but I'm born and raised in LA.
Awesome. Glad you guys came through.
Yeah.
So what's been going on? Anything good?
Just dropped the album and waiting on my wife to drop a baby any day now.
So everyone's dropping projects.
Yeah. So I'm just like looking at my phone
Like every second, right?
Yeah.
I remember the first one too. Like my phone buzzed and I was like, it was the only time my phone ring was on in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, because I was so nervous.
I'm still nervous to turn around. I'm like, okay. Well,
I was so pumped. It happened on a Saturday. And how's the project doing?
It's good, man. Good for an old rapper, you know. I'm out there. You know, I talk about our loss on the album, so it's kind of like a depressing, something that hasn't been done in rap. So a lot of people come out saying thank you for talking about it, but I think a lot of people are kind of like, I don't want to turn up to this. Like,
Of course.
But you know, it's
Every project's got a different. You got to speak your truth.
yeah. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy my label was like
Supporting that.
Yeah, they knew where I was. I was like, if I come out of this hole and do a record for you guys, this is what it's gonna be. And they're like,
Go do your thing.
yeah.
How about for you?
Yeah, I was just working with Nick. Our relationship is weird because I work in advertising and we just kind of came across each other just working. What was it, 2013? We did a project together, and then I brought him on to do like 3 or 4 more projects. And I've worked with a ton of artists, but you know, just working with him, he just kind of gets it. And you know, we just.
And how do you define gets it? Understands the end consumer. Understands.
Yeah, he understands the business side of it as well as the art side of it. And just understands how to work with clients as well. And
Yes.
knows what they're looking for. And you know, outside of that, I think we've been trying to work together outside of that, besides just trying to create our own content. He has a certain charisma about him that goes beyond just rap.
OG in the Twitch game.
I'm aware.
In the Twitch game, and I think he could definitely be a host. We did a Facebook Live hip hop show for Boost Mobile a couple years ago. Where You At LA, and he was essentially the host of that show. And he brought in a bunch of artists, and he's respected by
Culture.
the most hip hop
Yep,
guys,
I'm aware.
and, like the most sensitive females like his music, and so just he appeals to a mass audience. So he can stretch his wings beyond just rap. Even though he's a fantastic rapper.
And how are you thinking about that? Is that what you want, or
That's my dilemma now. Is,
trying to figure out
it's
that's
my last album with the label. So
Yes.
I'm free. And then I got
which must feel interesting, huh?
Yeah. So now I got
Options.
Yeah, exactly. I got gigs like the people that want me personality. You should do a podcast. I'm hosting Hip Hop DX's biggest show, and I, took them to get 1.8 million views on one video. It took them 18 months. So I did it in 3 months for them. Their subscribers have grown by 100,000, and so they want me to stay on. They want me to be the content creator of all videos. And it's kind of like Joe Budden. When Joe Budden went, he had to kill his rap career, which I think made sense because everybody who tries to straddle the fence seems to get lost. The people on the hosting.
Why do you think he did that? You think he loved it, or he just thought it was economically the right move for him?
I think economically, I think he's into being a dad now. And if you want to make money at rap, you got to be everywhere. You got to go out and shake hands. You got to stand the VIP. You got to, and then you got to deal with a lot of flack. You know, I put out my album, Confessing My Heart, and Pitchfork gave it a 6.8. It's just like fuck, all right. But when I create these content, I'm talking about other rappers, and I'm putting together these words, and advertisers streaming video games. I don't deal with as much. It's not my heart. It's what I love doing it because I love the culture, but I'm not so invested in it, and I don't have to be on the road 100 days, 200 days.
I totally understand.
So, but it's still a good job. Like if my rap album wasn't selling and I wasn't getting offers to do tours and gigs, I would have dropped it and stayed at Hip Hop DX. But it's still like, I don't know which way to go.
And what do you do in advertising?
I work in social.
Where?
I work at Mullen Low now. I was at 180 LA before that. Where we work.
You've been in the agency world for a long time?
Yeah, almost 5 years now.
And before that?
I was working in music. I was a DJ. I ran a small record label and kind of sort of stumbled into advertising just because I knew how to market on the internet.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah. So when I got in, it was just Facebook and Twitter, and just they hired me because they needed someone to run the Boost Mobile social account. They needed someone who knew marketing and knew
Music,
So just kind of fell into it, and little by little just kind of worked my way up. And
I love it.
His game's crazy. I mean, going to meetings with him, and then this person gets poached by this agency, and next year they're working here, and then the year they're working back at this agency. I'm like, you motherfuckers are just bad games.
Yeah, I agree.
Come to a meeting here. We're having a party Friday night. Come to this. I mean, didn't you used to work here? You used to work, and everyone knows each other, but they're all.
I agree. Because they don't have to sign the contracts that lock them in. You know what I mean?
That's why it's so bizarre. Well, you were just on Def Jam yesterday. You're in Atlantic.
It was weird as hell to me when I first started. When you're leaving already, you only been here like 6 months, but that's how you, in this industry, that's how you work your way up. It's just like, they're not really gonna promote you internally that quick if you wanna just like take those giant steps. You know, the agencies aren't really investing in people out there.
I couldn't agree more. It's the biggest thing I noticed when I first started Vayner. I didn't realize what people were telling me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a margin game, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
These are you know, all the agencies. The company you work for right now is a huge publicly traded company. They don't give a fuck about you. You're a line item. And so, yeah, I've said this before. I don't know if you've ever heard me say this, Judy. And this is the truth. If I actually understood the advertising industry's dynamic between employees and the holding companies, I would have never started VaynerMedia. That's real life. Because I hate when people leave my company.
Yeah.
I hate it. I love continuity. You even know the way I talk. Like when I'm really trying to figure out how to make it forever, or at least a long time, so that when it happens, it feels like cool and like awesome and right. Not, oh, I need to be at a place for 18 months and then leverage. And now, because our brand is so strong, a lot of the kids do think, I know, that are coming in, this is a great launching pad because it's a good brand right now. And like, you know, the more traditional shops want, you know, kids that we're grooming. People get caught up in short-term thinking, you know? People are confused by abundance. People think that they need to take something that somebody else is gonna get without realizing there's so much for everybody to eat. Tonight, America's gonna throw out more food than we literally, the food that America throws out tonight could feed so many parts of the world. We just don't think, we think of things in silos. There's so much more to go around, and everybody's grabbing because they think like that's the only, like it's all around us, and I just watch it, and I'm like, I never think that somebody's victory is at my expense. If I was a rapper, like literally, if you know, whoever has the biggest song in the world right now, I would never think, oh my God, that dude or that woman is getting all the listens.
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
That's how people act. Right?
That's how people act. Like, you know, just talking about current hip hop. Like, I would hope that Nicki Minaj or the people around her don't sit there and say, well, Cardi B's taken our listens. I understand it's an easy, lazy thing to say if you're not thoughtful. If Nicki Minaj puts out a fucking fire track right now, people are gonna listen.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
There's abundance.
Especially now that music is free.
There's abundance.
I don't understand.
But that's the confusion in the system, you know? And so, people need a calibration of understanding how much food there is to eat, and I think everybody needs more empathy. To me, that's so stuck in my, right here, right now. You sign with a new label, you're gonna be a different version of yourself than if it's the third album with a label, because you may, for your own ambition and skill set, wanna prove something, or start off it the right way, so there's so much context in every interaction, in every transaction. That's what I spend all my time on. Empathy.
It's rare.
I think so, but it's also why I think I have rare results. Basically, it's a very basic business thing. If you can survive doing it the way that nobody else is doing it, if you have the ability, and this is what I have, to sell it, to keep you alive, to give you leverage, to then be able to afford the thing that everybody else does, you win. That's the story of Vayner. We could stay alive in 2009, 10, 11, 12 doing social media when nobody wanted to buy it. Biggest companies in the world, like I got $5,000 a month for you for fucking 4 full-time staff to do social media full rack. But I could stay alive, and then it became the market. And I mean, so how we're gonna build the biggest media property. We're gonna build the biggest media agency on the back of doing all the stuff right, and then we're gonna buy a television shop. Commodity, that's where the dollars are now, but as that goes like this, that will all die, even though it's even to the spend on, let's say, Facebook and Google, but I'll be able to buy it because the infrastructure costs are gonna collapse it. Toys R Us does plenty of revenue. It's out of business.
Yeah.
Like, you know, plenty of people make $1 million a year, they just spend 1.1 million. Antoine Walker made $100 million. You know, it doesn't matter how much you make, it matters what you spend, you know? So, I spend a lot of time thinking that way. It's how I think about attention, by the way. It's how I think about making things successful. You know, what are you gonna spend your, this for me is a bad use of my short-term time. What they're paying me for this one pilot episode over 3 days is a bad use of my time in the 3-day period. But if it pops, it's gonna hit an audience that, you know, I'm gonna win the internet. Like, it's, you know, over the last 15 months, you guys know, like, and in the next 3 years, there'll be even more, I'm gonna win.
Right.
But there's still, at least for now, you know, 49-year-old Karen, you know, I'm not gonna get to her the way I'm gonna get as being like a star show.
Right. That's so real.
So it's just trying to figure out the right pieces.
I get it.
Anything I can help you guys with? You know, obviously I'm aware about your,
I want to ask, like, rapping or personality, or try to Bo Jackson and do both.
I think Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. You can always do the other. You can always default into picking one or the other. But if you can do Bo Jackson creatively and like filling your soul, like to me, to make a binary decision that now I'm gonna just play on my, you know, you have these abilities. Listen, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing all sorts of shit because if I can, you know, the reason I wouldn't do this show is if I felt like last year proved to me that I wasn't capable. But that didn't happen. I feel like I am capable. I work a lot, which allows me to kind of like close the gaps on doing things. I also know what this means to our business, you know. So, you know, to me, you know, here's how I think about music, and I really wish I had that skill set in today's environment of distribution. The fact that I could get inspired, go into the fucking studio, break off a song, and literally just drop it on SoundCloud or Spotify and use my own social to build awareness, and if it's real, and if it's like literally somebody who builds awareness and has some social and has the ability to produce a song, and nobody's in charge of your distribution or your marketing, and then you let the music speak for itself, is remarkable.
Yeah, it's a different time.
I mean, I'm 42. When I think about like going and getting signed by a label, producing an album, the marketing, the Virgin fucking megastore selling your shit, MTV or BT having to give you love, or Z100, like all that's gone. The middle's dead. You, your audience, SoundCloud, Spotify, upload for fucking free, let's go. Are you fucking kidding me? So you could be personality, you could be
I feel like sometimes I'm pulling my fan base in too many different directions. Like when
Disagree.
I start doing Twitch,
Nope.
every day they say, why aren't you
Nope,
rapping? Where's your
nope,
album?
nope,
Yeah.
nope,
Your brand is your brand.
nope. Disagree. I get it, because your fucking music's fire and they want more music.
Yeah.
But the fact that they even took the time to go on Twitch and tell you that is already, never worry about people that are talking to you. Worry about the people that stop talking to you. My dad used to get super like bent out of shape when we got a complaint. I'm like, Dad, I love complaints. You know what? Perfect. I want to hear everything, because when I'm not hearing it, I'm not in control. When somebody came to Wine Library back in the day and didn't have a good experience, like me, I'm dangerous as a customer. I go to a restaurant, if the waiter fucking punches me in the face, I won't say a word. I don't know how to complain, but I just will never go back. Like the waiter punched me, I would like suck my bloody lip, eat my food, leave, not talk to the manager, not make a scene, if you look at I don't know how many tweets I have, not one complaint. You know how many times I've had shitty experience? Not fuck you Delta, not fucking this, nothing. I don't have it in me. It's not how I was raised, right? What I do is I choose not to go back, right? To me, if somebody's saying they're mad at me, that means they cared. It means they're still in the circle. It means I can learn from it. To me, it's the people who just unfollow and never said anything about it. Got it? So, if you know, like to me, when you're getting that feedback, it's only showing love to a skill you have and they just want to be fed some more.
Right.
But I don't think that's the reason to stop doing something. I think that's the reason to do all of it.
And you think the jack of all trades, master of none is
Is a farce.
Wow.
Yes, I do. I think a lot of these sayings are from times that don't exist anymore. For example, fake it till you make it. You can't fake it till you make it anymore, because while you're faking it, it's your public domain. Like you can't come, if you're gonna come out and say you're a 22-year-old life coach, like you can't fake it like you used to. Everything's being documented, everything's being watched. No, I don't think so, man. I think a lot of people are multidimensional. I also think you're in a funny business. If you're in the music business, you're one at bat away from everything. You're one song away every day of your life.
And that's why it's so hard to walk away from it.
You can't, brother. Why do you think I'm talking to you? You can't walk away from a game that literally one fucking song in your back. It's acting too. John Travolta was dead for 16 years. And then Pulp Fiction, my man. So fuck that. You can never give up on music. You're one fucking song away. Very.
Why does it save my life?
It's also your art and your personal expression.
Yeah, and I love it.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just, amazing.
Now, it also depends on your artistic, process. A lot of stuff's easy for me because I'm straight improv. Like, Juhi and I can go pitch right now our biggest piece of business in the history of LA, and I'm not gonna prep. She'll be ready. I'll be ready with what I have to be ready for. I'll be ready for what I go out there, I don't know anything about the business. I pick up, I don't know anything. Like, I can pick up shit in I listen 3 seconds, I'm like, got you. Like, that's what I'm good at. So I would have been, like, I always wish I could rap because I'd be like, it'd be great for me. I'll just go in and fucking spit it from the top of my dome and be out. Yeah. No writing, no nothing, I'll just go do it. It's why I want, like, one of the biggest reasons I want this to pop is I just want to, because I'm like, I think I would kill it.
I know you will.
Yeah, I would kill it, I feel. I think my opening dialogue would like motivate a generation, and then I go and do some funny shit, and like, I think it'd be good.
Yeah.
I want you to do that.
I need to.
It'd be the second episode I watched in my life.
I appreciate, what was the first?
I believe it was probably the Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah, oh my God. What is this?
What the hell did
She heard that I'm doing,
Yeah.
she's like that.
I want a piece of the action.
Holy shit, someone's just letting this thing walk around.
This thing.
She's
I hope she's gonna pitch me, I'll buy.
But yeah,
That's it, man. That's the answer.
I do an album.
Honest.
My best selling album I did in 5 days.
I love it.
Album that people call my best album. It took me 5 days.
What are you doing?
It was a podcast I heard you do, where you mentioned like the next big artist is going to release a track a day for like a year or something like that.
I believe in it. I think it's at bats. I think it's at bats.
I actually told you about this a while.
Yeah, no, he told me, and I was like, I can do it.
Here's what I think about you. I don't think you're capable of putting out something that is detrimental to you. That's what I don't think people understand. I think you're too talented, from what I know about you, to put out anything that's detrimental. It might, and you know this, I put out my heart, and this is what the rating they gave me. Things that you thought were gonna be the song that was gonna change your career, nothing. Songs that you didn't pay attention to, meant something. I do it with content too. Like, I'm like, this is gonna be the fire, huh? And it's like, and then like, what happened? Like, that's so common. That's so right. It's advertising too. Yeah. Like, it's the way the world actually works. It just means to me, it just leaves so much, to me, creativity is like, I'm fairly creative in the scheme of things now that I've gotten to know myself a little bit as I've gotten older. Like, but like, I don't know, I just like, you can't manifest, like, literally this happened this morning. We walked in here, he's like, can you put on for the vlog? And like, we can't film much here. So I was like unmotivated. So I literally took it off, which I never do.
I put my camera away.
I was like, I don't wanna do this, right? Literally.
And then 4 minutes later.
4 minutes later, off of reading something in my Instagram, I'm like, D-Rock, let's go make and now, because we do the vlog, I rarely do what I did 3 years ago, which is get inspired, ask somebody for a camera to come and see me, and I would rant. My content in 2012 to like 15, most of the YouTube things would be, I was inspired, luckily somebody was around with a camera, I'd rant about something like, Wall Street's wrong about this, or I believe Twitter's gonna do this, right? Yeah. Now I never do it because we're filming everything and I don't need to and I don't think that way. This was the first time I've done it in 6 months.
The last LA trip, did you go?
Oh yeah, we did actually. So anyway, nonetheless, 4 minutes earlier, I'm like, I don't even want to be mic'd. 4 minutes later, I'm like, I want to make an original piece of content off the top of my head. That's how I think about music now, which is like, like how amazing is it if you can just do it when you feel it and not be confined to the creative or the distribution. I mean, that's it, you got it. That's it, man.
It used to be like 3 months. You gotta get into the source and let them have 3 months.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
And now, especially if you're an OG in the Twitch community, you fucking like you make a crew. If Ninja's listening to your shit while he's playing Fortnite right now, like that's more listens than fucking iHeartRadio is gonna give you. People are confused, man. People are fucking confused. This is MTV 1984. People are confused. The biggest bands in the world didn't make music videos because they thought it was giving away free music. They didn't get it. They were thinking short term. Styx didn't make music videos. They were one of the biggest bands in the world because they thought it was free music. Fuck you, this new thing, MTV. We're not gonna fucking make music, you're gonna play it. Our people have to go to the record store and buy our shit until nobody knew who the fuck they were because Duran Duran and Van Halen and Twisted Sister were playing on fucking loop, and then they became the biggest bands. Exposure, listens. Some kid who's got fucking 2 million people watching them play Fortnite, playing your track while they're playing, is a hell of a lot more than Z1 fucking 100. They can't.
Going to all these conventions, hanging out with the top.
Yep.
I made PUBG.
Yep.
That's my home. I met him drinking Irish drink. We just started drinking.
That's the Fortnite equity, right?
I got
Yeah.
my wife, like, and he was like, "Yo."
You know how I do it?
He was,
China.
But my label, I'm like, "Yo, we need to get our music in this guy's game." And my label's like, "We don't give away music." I'm like, "This guy's game is gonna be," and no one believed me. And I'm hanging out with all these streamers, and I'm like, "Yo, they want to be able to play our shit. You just have to watch."
That's how I think about media, you know? That's all I think about with media. Overpriced, underpriced. They think courting fucking Pitchfork is like I don't give a fuck about anything. Like any established thing doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have the leverage. Its leverage is overrated. Its leverage is overrated. Whatever the establishment is, overrated. I don't know, what's to say?
But then they don't wait until it's too late. But it's great now that Twitch is the thing. But you know, for me, I've been doing it for 2 years. And people are like, "What is this video game?" I won't say his name, but a famous rapper who was manager of a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine. Flew me in like, "How much should we charge Twitch?" A year ago. I'm like, "You don't charge Twitch." I was like, "They want us to stream on their thing." I'm like, "You should do it because Amazon just bought them for $980 million."
That's right.
And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "How do you not know this?" And they flew me in to like tell them, educate them about Twitch, but they still didn't jump on it. But now Drake did it, and it's like,
Of course.
and I was like, "Yeah."
It always is gonna be a moment. Snapchat until, you know, Khaled do it.
Yeah.
Twitter before Ashton Kutcher jumped on it. It's all the same fucking game. We know it's happening, but the culture and the mainstream need that moment. And I just spend all my time trying to be at that moment beforehand, so when the moment happens.
Right. Yeah, I haven't streamed in a long time because of the album and.
I get it. I mean, I almost did Twitch before I did YouTube with Stunwin.
Yeah.
Before you were even on my team. Took it 3.5 years ago. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we streamed Murs rapping 25 hours straight on Twitch, and we did it at the same time boosted on YouTube.
Yeah.
And Twitch audience.
It's not even
There's more
guys,
live stream
Twitch's
happening.
continuous
Yeah.
minutes trump everything.
Yeah.
Literally, the audience, same guys were there for 25 hours just watching this crazy ass guy.
I'm thinking about just going Twitch 24/7. I might just fucking just live stream live for the rest of my life on Twitch. Just go back to what it was. Twitch was done by Justin.
Justin TV, yeah.
I mean, this is
Yeah.
iJustine. That's how she blew up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, Justin TV, iJustine TV. Like she was the Justine, like that's how she blew up back in the day.
Incorporating music as into everything else.
To me, it's just so much underpriced attention. You go and DM 55 influencers on Instagram with 2 million followers and ask them to just put a minute of your music in whatever video they're using. It's just more exposure than Z100. I don't know what else to tell you. It's nothing personal. You know, like it's nothing, it's, you know, sorry. Like, I don't know, like, would you rather be a Netflix hit show now or, you know, a Bravo hit show? Netflix, 5 years ago, Bravo. 10 years before that, CBS. 50 years before that, fucking radio channel XYZ. Before that, Drawn in a Cave. Like, shit changes. Right? Like, I don't know, like that #1 drawer. Caveman John, his shit is fly. Right? Attention moves. MTV's bunk was 1986. Nothing was more important. Everybody in the music industry just sat in a room and be like, all right, this music video is gonna make us.
Yeah.
Or not, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wish everybody would torrent my latest book. I don't want the money, I want the attention.
Yeah, that's what I tell people all the time when I perform.
Yeah, he said it the
I
other
just
day.
like steal my music. I don't.
I do it all the time. I go on all these like shows and like hip hop shows and you got a new book out, like and you know the host is trying to do right. Charlemagne will be like, yo, everybody go out and buy it. And I'll jump right in and be like, no, don't buy it. Go download that shit for free. You know, and then the audience, you know, and they're like, yes, they love that.